they think. They think if they take down the red card, yellow card, green card system, that they have to put something else back up. And so they're like, what do I put back up there? The safety that you bring is what replaces. The emotional safety that you bring is what replaces and allows children to have willingness to change. That's what we want. We don't want them to just sit quietly and stuff all their emotions like Becky talked about on the first night, right? We don't want them to, but you know what those systems do? They teach kids to do exactly that. Stuff that feeling. Oh, you're feeling really excited? Don't act like it. You get a red card, right? And here's what we don't even realize accidentally. So when I started teaching a long time ago, I had gone to college, and at college they taught me to use the red card, yellow card system, except then we used the tree. And we had, stuff on the tree, and apples fell off the tree, right? So I didn't have very much money, and the monkeys were on clearance. So I had monkeys in my tree, in my third grade classroom. And here's what I would do. You know, kids are messing up, not doing what I ask them to do, and I would go like this. Right? And that was the strategy. The strategy was, I hope you're scared enough that you change and that you don't do that. And then here's what I would add. I would add, the second time it happened to the same kid, I would go like this. This is so sad. Really sad that a couple people in this classroom can keep the whole class from getting an extra recess, right? And so that's what we used to do. Well, you know what? I don't know if you had this, but I had a little girl in my classroom, and she could have taught. I'm not sure why I came. You know, she was really smart in third grade. And she came up to me, and here's what I said every day. Every day I would say this, boys and girls, everybody gets a fresh start every day. Every day you get a fresh start, and everybody's apple goes back on the tree, and you choose whether your apple falls off the tree. Yeah, that's what I did every single day. And so here's what she came up to me and said in October. So not long into the year, about this time of year, she comes up to me and she says, Mrs. Molli, I think it would be so much easier on you if you just left Jose on the ground. Okay, we can laugh right now, but here's what I gotta tell y'all. At the moment, I wasn't laughing. I was like, I don't know how to handle him. I know I'm a failure. Like that was what was happening in my head to this little girl. But the wisdom that I got when I found conscious discipline and I reflected and realized the biggest bully in my third grade classroom was me. I sighed. I rolled my eyes. I taught children not to like a kid. That's so yucky. And I just want you to know, it's still happening 22 years later in classrooms all across the country because they just don't know another way. And they really do believe that if you have that system, that those apples are externally controlling children's internal state. And so, if you really want to share with somebody, maybe you've got a parent that works with you, maybe you've got a teacher next door, and you've been trying to explain to them, like, here's why we do what we do, and here's why we're not a strategy, here's why we're not just an intervention, and here's why the school family is so valuable and so important. So I want you to look at this, and I want you to think about this. So think about, Amy and Toria this morning talked a little bit about behaviors that call for help. Right? So let's say the call that you have is, that this kid is unmotivated and off task. And then here is your new strategy. Here is how you create the soil that's different in the classroom so children can actually have willingness. It's your state. Your state creates the willingness, not any trick that you do. So when you look at that child and you see them through a lens of positive intent, and when we talk about positive intent, we're talking about bringing the best version of yourself to a difficult moment. Are you willing to bring the best version of you? Because you can bring judgmental Jill, right? Or you can bring the best version of you. And when you bring the best version of you, then you can actually also see, oh, this kid's missing a skill. Instead of, this kid's doing it on purpose. He knows exactly what he's doing.